What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It is HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And welcome to once again another convention recap video. I'm really late making this convention recap, but I figured it's a really quick one, so I figured I'd just share it with you guys real quick. I went to my first ever RetroCon up in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Apparently, this is the same venue where they hold Monster Mania in Oaks in November. So it's the same venue, so I figured I might as well check it out. They had a few guests there that I really wanted to get, three in particular. I figured I might as well go there for one day and go, get my people and all that stuff. And it was a really good time. Had a good time. I met my three people. I picked up two goodies from the vendor rooms. I'll show those at the very end, though. I want to get through the people first, though, that I met. I'll do the same thing as I do with all the other ones. I'll show photos, autograph, like them signing it, and things like that. If I'm talking really low, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So, and I'm off the next day. So, I just figured out this is why I'm up late, so I can get some. I can make this video for you guys. So, without further ado, let's get on to the convention recap. So the first person that I met was Lance Guest. For people who don't know who Lance Guest is, he played Jimmy in the original Halloween 2, and of course he played the main character in The Last Starfighter, and of course he was Michael Brody in Jaws the Revenge. But I really wanted to get him on my Halloween 2 Blu-ray, so I figured I wanted to bring that to him to get him to sign it. And Lance was a really, really cool guy, really funny guy, really down-to-earth guy. Me and him got into talk about Jaws the Revenge, actually, for a little bit. I was telling him, he was telling me about, how it was filmed in the Bahamas and things like that. So then I told him that when my mom was a senior in high school, and because she graduated high school in 1987, she was actually on a senior trip. She was in the Bahamas on a senior trip with her girlfriends from class and everything like that in her class. And while they were down there at the Bahamas, they were actually filming Jaws the Revenge. And I was telling him that. And he was telling me about how when they were filming, while on their side, when they were filming it, they were staying at a hotel and they came across all these people partying with margaritas in their hand, and they were throwing up everywhere, and the elevator smelled like vomit and things like that. So he was telling me some really funny stories about that. He also mentioned a lot of really great things about working with Donald Pleasence on Halloween 2, working with Dick Warlock, and working with Rick Rosenthal. Was it Rick Rosenthal that did Halloween 2? I think it was. I'm very sure it was. I think that is the case. But Lance was just overall really, really cool guy. I'm really glad I was able to get him. So here is my picture with me and Lance Guest. And here's a picture of Lance Guest signing my Halloween 2 Blu-ray. And his autograph on it. Okay, guys, so moving on to the next person of the show that I met. Speaking of The Last Starfighter, this is probably the best meet of the whole show for me, and that is Catherine Mary Stewart. I've been wanting to meet Catherine Mary Stewart for quite a while, because I've already met her co-star Kelly Maroney in one of my at the New Jersey HorrorCon last month or a couple months ago. So I was hoping one day I would get Catherine Mary Stewart. And sure enough, they got her for the RetroCon for the little mini Last Starfighter reunion with her and Lance Guest. So, but of course, I mean, what more can be said about Catherine Mary Stewart? Night of the Comet, Weekend at Bernie's, just a lot of other stuff over the years. However, I wanted to really get her on Nighthawks, which she had a really small part in, where she plays the perfume sales lady the scene in the film where Rugger Hauer goes into the department store and he plants the bomb and he walks down, the bomb explodes and it kills everybody in the department store. Catherine Mary Stewart plays the perfume like sales lady behind the counter, and she's talking with Rugger Hauer. So she was really surprised that someone brought up Nighthawks to her, because she never ever gets Nighthawks brought up to her, hardly at all, because not many people remember that she's in that. But it was kind of a breath of fresh air for her, because she's always used to signing Last Starfighter or Night of the Comet and things like that. But she was telling me some really great stories about working behind the scenes, working with Stallone, how much of an honor it was working with Rugger Hauer now that Rugger Hauer has passed away, and things like that. And she was even asking me, before I get to the next person, she was asking me like, "Oh, are you gonna get this person to sign it too?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I'll get to the next guest and things like that. So we were just like talking about like random things for like 10 minutes or so, just about anything that came to our heads. And she really loved my Andrew Dice Clay t-shirt, because I wear that to my shows all the time. And she was just, we were just like talking about just about anything that came to our mind. Just a really nice lady. Catherine Mary Stewart is as down to earth as you can get. So definitely my favorite meet of the whole show. I have a couple pictures to show for this one, because the agent kind of took a really cool photo where, because we were so deep in the conversation of me and her just talking about certain things and all that stuff, there's actually a moment where the agent snapped a photo of us like looking eye to eye, like talking with one another. You can see Catherine Mary Stewart like smiling at me as we were talking and things like that. So it's a kind of a cool moment. I'll show that too when I get to the pictures. But overall, awesome lady, super nice lady. So here is my picture with me and Catherine Mary Stewart. And here's a picture of Catherine Mary Stewart signing my Nighthawks Blu-ray. And her autograph on it. And the other picture that I was going to show you guys of the agent, where she snapped the picture of me and Catherine Mary Stewart like looking at each other, talking, and you can see she's smiling at me and when we were talking and all that stuff. So here is that photo. Okay, guys, so now moving on to the last person that I met at the show, and this is also going toward my Nighthawks Blu-ray, and this is basically going to complete my Nighthawks Blu-ray piece, because I don't think anybody else from the film does shows. Maybe if I'm lucky, maybe I might get Billy Dee Williams one day, because I think he does shows still, as far as I know. Maybe one day I might get Billy Dee Williams, but crossing my fingers, hopefully I do. Because there's no way I'm not getting Stallone. Rugger Hauer has passed away, but I don't think that would ever be possible anyway. But anyways, so the last person that I met was Lindsay Wagner, and of course all of you know her as the Bionic Woman, but she's been in other stuff too. She was in Ricochet with Denzel Washington, and of course she was in Nighthawks as Stallone's, I guess, like, girlfriend or ex-wife in the movie, who's another investigator. She's helping out, trying to capture Rugger Hauer and things like that. So I really wanted to get Lindsay Wagner on my Nighthawks Blu-ray. That's the one that Catherine Mary Stewart was actually asking me if I was going to add her to it. I'm like, yeah, just so I can complete it for now. So I figured I'd add Lindsay Wagner to it. And just like with Catherine Mary Stewart, Lindsay Wagner was a really nice lady as well, really down-to-earth lady. And it was kind of a funny conversation between me and her, because she hardly ever gets, just like with Catherine Mary Stewart, she told me that she hardly ever gets Nighthawks brought up to her. It's always a lot of Bionic Woman stuff or things like that. Like, nobody never brings up nothing else to her, not even like Ricochet and things like that. So it was kind of like another breath of fresh air for her. and she was like seeing that Captain Mary Stewart signed it and things like that, and Captain Mary or Lindsay Wagner was telling me some funny things. She was like, she was like saying to me, it's actually really better if you like flatten out your Blu-ray sleeve and I can sign it that way. And I'm like, oh, I kind of thought like, if you like lined it up with the Blu-ray case and then you can kind of use the Blu-ray case as a backbone where you can like press down and like sign it and things like that. She's like, actually, no, that's actually not the case really at all. Because sometimes the Blu-ray case or the Blu-ray sleeve might slip and things like that. And I said to her, well, this is why I'm not the signer, so that way you know better than me. And we started laughing about that. So it was kind of a funny interaction between me and her. Now, unfortunately for this one, I did not get a picture of Lindsay Wagner signing it because I was actually assisting her on holding down the Blu-ray sleeve as she signed it, because she wanted to make sure that the Blu-ray sleeve didn't like move, because she didn't want to smudge my autograph or mess it up. So she asked me if I could help her hold down the sleeve while she signed it and everything like that, which I was more than happy to do, because she wanted to make sure my autograph turned out nice. So very convenient of her. She was very accommodating, and just an overall cool lady. It was just really cool in general to meet the Bionic Woman in person. So here is my picture with me and Lindsay Wagner. And here's a picture of, well, not Lindsay Wagner signing, as I already mentioned that, but here's the autograph on the item. Okay, guys, that pretty much wraps up all the guests that I met and everything. Now getting on to the vendor items that I got. Got this for $10, and I think this is out of print, because I think on Amazon it says like unavailable, and I think on eBay I looked up and it goes for, I want to say almost like $200 or something like that, which is kind of bonkers. But Halloween, the extended edition, which features 12 minutes of additional footage shot for TV, which I never owned this, so pretty cool little pickup. And I got, like I said, this was only like $10, and it's in really good condition. The disc is basically brand new, so I was really happy to find this. And this is probably the coolest one pickup there. I got this for, I think, $2. And as you know, I'm a big fan of this film. It is my favorite film of all time. I have the DVD of it signed by Stephen Dorff. Of course, I have the Blu-ray of it from Warner Archive, and now I have it on a VHS tape, and that is Judgment Night. I mean, what more can I say about this film that I haven't said before, man? I talk about this film so many times, and for $2 on VHS tape, that is a steal. So I was really happy to find this. So anything Judgment Night related, I'm always going to get it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. You guys take care.